Welcome, my conscious family. In this video, I'm going to provide you with some guidance when it comes to manifestation, creation, belief system, and also in the end, I will give you a short meditation visualization that will help you to feel how it feels when you are living in that reality that you want to manifest. I wanted to give you also guidance before the meditation because I believe that you need to understand why this is so important in order to really stay disciplined with this practice. I already have a meditation on my channel, so you're welcome to do this every morning. But I wanted to create also a shorter version for those days when you don't have that much time, but I want you to stay consistent. I really want you to do this practice for a minimum of 30 days. And I can promise you definitely that your whole life is going to change. Maybe not drastically, but every area of your life is going to be changed in some way. So basically, before I start, I do want to mention that it really means a lot to me when you subscribe so that this message can reach more people so that I can help more people. And by liking this video and following, subscribing, you're helping me do that. And it gives me great pleasure and profound happiness actually to connect with more of you guys and to really connect with you here. I read all of your comments, and yeah, it just makes my heart really warm to know that someone can watch this video and their perspective on something can change, and they can feel, you know, they can feel like they got something, some inspiration. Or um I feel so emotional right now. I didn't mean to feel so emotional, but I guess you cannot plan that. I was just thinking how much YouTube helped me, and how many times when I felt lonely, or that there is no one, or no one understands, or just like you don't know where to go, and then I would watch, one YouTube video, or I don't know, a tarot reading, or some podcast or something, and just how much it helps, how much it can help one video. So basically, thank you for doing that. It's a good karma, it's a good energy exchange. So I wanted to give you this short guidance and practice because many people are trying, me as well in the past, to do these things mentally, with like mental exercise and mentally forcing themselves to believe in something and to manifest, and it's like it becomes more of like this action, forced action, or I would even say forced awareness. I don't know if that's a thing, but it's not pleasurable anymore. It becomes like, oh, I must change my beliefs, and then I mustn't say this word because I'm sending this message to the universe, and I need to, and it becomes this force, and that's not what it should be. So I finally understand that after 31 years of practicing. Okay, I didn't start practicing when I was a baby, obviously, but many years. I read my first book when I was 12. My mother gave me Ask and it will be given, by Esther and Jerry Hicks, Abraham teachings, which I resonate and love, by the way, so it's highly recommended from my side. So I'm 31, I was 12, so many years I am in this law of attraction, law of assumption, world of manifestation and everything. And it felt always like I'm not good enough. Um, I need to achieve better. I need to change my beliefs. My beliefs are not good enough. My brain is not good enough. My upbringing, my energy, my frequency, my and and then it comes again to this point where you actually started to do all this work, and it's like I'm not good enough, and it's like why am I even doing all these things? By the way, I now realize that this video is going to be very different than how I imagined it. But let's just roll with it. I really hope my head is not cut, because when I made this position where I am right now, I really, really didn't want to move and check if the video and audio quality is good. So um, I really hope that it is, because honestly, I have some things in my mind that I want to share, but when these things come in this way, like right now, I feel very emotional. I feel very present in the moment, and I don't want to spoil this intuition and magical moments that doesn't happen when you try to force them. So let's just roll with the punch. But I feel very emotional. When I said those words, when I said this video can help someone, I get so emotional because I remembered how many times it helped me, and just how easy it can actually be for you to release yourself from the suffering when you get the right information. But sometimes we are not there yet, and I really wanted I really wanted to be there for so many months and years. Oh my god, what is this? A crying session? So weird. But crying is so sacred and so important, so healing. So I'm just gonna let it all flow. Maybe this is gonna be ACMR, ASMR, however you spell it, ASMR video. I don't know. This is just something I got from some cheap Chinese place, whatever. So maybe that's why it's not really good. Uh, but I know this is important for you to hear. I know that for sure. To see the authenticity, and to really hear, that you're not alone. Like everybody is going through these things, and so I really wanted to be there for many years. I really wanted, and I was really pushing and really trying. Um, I was really pushing and really trying, and I always felt like I'm not good enough. And even I was reading so many books, and I was doing so many things and practices and techniques for manifestation, but somehow my reality wasn't changing, or when it changed, it would come back to the old. And I'm not saying that now I manifested. I didn't. I'm not there yet that I can see, oh, my 3D reality. No, my 3D reality looks very different, because I moved to Bali, which I'm really proud of myself, that I came here, because it's not easy to move across the world alone with the hand luggage to Asia. I am from Belgrade, Serbia, and this looks and feels very different from what I am accustomed to and from what uh, how I lived my whole life. And my family, of course, my brother and sister, they don't live in Serbia, so that for sure makes it easier for me to also live abroad since they live abroad. But overall, it's been very huge spiritual awakening. Uh, I would say the whole past year, to be honest, was like so many ups and downs. And then when I came here, I had a huge spiritual awakening. I had a huge darkness. For 1 month, I was sick. I didn't know what was wrong. I really felt like there were a lot of expenses. I didn't have a health insurance. Just a lot of issues. But these issues um, actually propelled me to look myself in the mirror, and to really be there for myself and say to myself, Irena, now you need to really think, what you are doing with your life. And this was happening in the December. So it's my birthday, 24th of December, I turned 31 year old. And when you are in the near your birthday and also the new year, you start questioning, what am I doing in my life? And of course, the first questions that aroused were, what do you have to show for? And it was so emotional for me. I got so sick. Everything happens for a reason. And now looking back, I'm so grateful that this happened. But in the moment, I was like, does this mean that all the work that I did and all the practices, all the work that I did, it's for nothing? As many of you know, I was very addicted to alcohol for many, many, many years. I was addicted to nicotine. I was smoking cigarettes for 10 years. I was very addicted to drugs, many different kinds of drugs. Just, addiction is not, it doesn't matter what you are addicted to. Um, let me tell you, for a moment, it doesn't matter what you're addicted to. Addiction is just you're using anything so that you can numb the pain. So it all comes down to, what are you running away from? So it doesn't really matter, what are you addicted to? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. But I was very addicted to many sorts of different things. And this was just for me to escape the pain that I felt in my teenage years. That started even when I was a kid. I started feeling very different, like a black sheep of the family, hypersensitive. And then I was bullied in elementary school, in high school, calling names and all these things. And it really affected me. So, why was I even saying all these things? Gosh, I wasn't planning this video, but I'm sure that it's for a reason. Yeah. So I worked with this, my mother gave me this book, and that's the first time I was thinking, oh, so maybe it doesn't have to be this way. Maybe I can stop suffering. Maybe there is a way I can choose a different life for myself. And it didn't work, when you're so young, and it doesn't matter. That's what I'm trying to actually say in this video, is that I do believe there is divine timing. And even though people say you create the right time, that's also true. But in the same time, I don't think that those things are exclusive to one another. Confirmation from the workers on the construction. Those things are not exclusive. You do your part, but you need to let God do the rest. Let the universe catch up with your dreams. That's what I'm saying about divine timing. So when I came here, and after all the work that I did, in my life, I stopped all of my addictions. I'm not even drinking anymore. I'm not even eating, binge watching Netflix or eating. I had an eating disorder. Like I was eating a lot, just overeating, indulging in food, just, running away from myself and from my emotions. And I did a lot of work. I was like 3 years in psychotherapy. I worked with a shaman. I did Reiki. I'm actually on a second steps, or however do you say that, theta healing. Just a lot of different modalities and healings and techniques and courses and programs. And just I came here and all of this struck me, and I sit down with myself in this room, that I rented, this little room. And this room was like full of mold on the walls, and the bathroom was like so dirty. I was like, Jesus Christ, 31. And I was just sitting there and I was like, what I have to show up for myself. And then all these societal norms just came crashing onto me. Like, do you have kids? And you should already be having a house on your name. And you should be having very highly successful business with I don't know how many clients. And just like all of these dreams that I had before, I didn't, I wasn't living them. And I was like, oh my God, this means so many things, that I am a failure. And I was, as I said, like I did so many courses, like very high ranking courses from very highly successful millionaires. Okay, so I was learning from very highly successful people and doing courses and programs and different things. And I always felt like I'm forcing, this change of beliefs. Like it felt that it was coming from the lack. It wasn't coming from love. It wasn't coming from compassion. It wasn't coming from healing. It was coming again from this need to prove something. It was coming from lack, from feeling unworthy. So I need to change my beliefs. And it felt like a big work, like a lot of work. Like you need to have the structure and the discipline, and you need to stop saying those words and start saying those words, and never ever do this and always do that. And it just felt so overwhelming. And I'm not saying nothing against to the course or the program or the people or anyone else beside my own self. It was my own self. And that's why in this video I want to tell you to give yourself grace. And hopefully this message and this story of mine that I'm sharing here with you is going to help you to work with the divine, maybe faster than me, to have that divine timing, maybe faster than me. I mean, faster doesn't really exist in this world that we live in. I don't mean the society world that we live in, I mean the real world. But it took me time to realize that, and it took me it took me years of work and trying to change limiting beliefs in such a way. And then when I came here, I'm gonna share the story with you because I don't I think it's important when it's coming, to my mind now. So I am in my room and I'm having this hard look on myself and what do I have to show for? Just these sentences as a cloud, like a black cloud over my head. And even though I was having, I'm working with clients in Serbian language, I have a following on Instagram, but all these things that I thought that I was gonna have by the time I'm 31, such as big house, family, um, very, very highly successful business, traveling the world, teaching, um, having a car, Porsche, Porsche Cayenne, whatever, Um, I think there is a movie with Cameron Diaz where she's like very successful in Las Vegas, wedding in Las Vegas. And I remember I was thinking that's how I'm going to be like a successful businesswoman, business owner. And when I'm sitting in this room, I'm sick, I'm sick in Asia. I need to pay a lot of bills. They don't even know what's wrong with me. I cannot work because I cannot have, work because I'm sick. I don't have, no one is helping me or providing for me at this point. I'm in this room and it's filled with mold and I'm just coughing and my friend is coming over to give me medicine. I'm so grateful for her to help me at this point. But I remember I had to take this hard look at myself and I said to myself, is this really true, Irena? Is this really true that you are unworthy and a failure because you don't own a house and you don't have a family and you don't own a highly successful, world renowned business and you don't make millions? And I was like, what am I even saying? And to be completely honest and vulnerable here with you, this was actually the biggest spiritual awakening I had in my life. We have many, we don't have just one, we have many. I had many years ago, the first one when I first realized, hey, I can actually change myself and change my reality. I am not a victim. And then every time I awaken more to this truth that I am not a victim. I am a winner. Write down in the comments, I am not a victim. I am a winner. And this is my life story. Even though I was a victim, um, like objectively a victim of sexual abuse when I was 18 and many years in addiction in this world that I lived in, this was my real life, like this world of darkness and abuse and um, just I wouldn't say that it was like one time sexual abuse that I know of, yes, but when you live in this world full of darkness and shadows and drugs and just it's like your whole reality is distorted and not many people will understand. Only people who have been through this and went out on the other side, they can understand the difference. And this is when I realized that you do live in a different reality, because once I got free from that, I never ever in my life again met anyone like those people that were my best friends. Those people were my best friends. Like I was living in that sort of environment, but when I broke free, I wasn't even seeing, because I that was another timeline. So it does exist, it is real, that you can change your reality. That's why sometimes you don't see your exes or your friends from high school, because you don't operate from the same mind. You're not you're on different timelines. And so when I had to take this hard look on myself, I said, is this really like all these things outside of you really are showing your worth, Irena? Like, are you really saying this to yourself? And it's not like I was superficial before, and I was never superficial. I was always a very kind person, very loving towards people, towards animals. Really, this is my nature. But I was connecting my own self-worth with um, how much money I have, or how many clients, or my house, or just I was thinking that, yeah, this shows my inner worth. This shows who I am as a person. Not who I am as a person per se, but actually where I am in my manifestation journey. Yes, this is what I'm talking about today. So, this was actually showing where I am on my manifestation journey, which is another ego trap. Thinking that, oh my God, I haven't changed my beliefs, I haven't manifested this, so it means something is wrong with me. So it's again coming from ego, which is not, ego is bad. Ego helps you in many ways to reach your potential, to operate in this world, societal world that we live in. But please understand in this video, please, you are not running late anywhere. And this spiritual awakening that you're going through is a journey, and it can be very dark because you're realizing some stuff and you're becoming aware of some stuff. But I'm telling you, hand, if you just, sorry, excuse me, confirmation verb, if you just stay on your journey and if you just continue, there is magic on the other side. And I'm not saying magic on the other side as if I manifested now big house and money and clients and successful business that I want to. I didn't. I'm not there yet. But I can tell you that what I did manifest is this profound knowing of my own worth, that it doesn't is no longer connected to what other people think of me, is no longer connected to how many clients I have, or how much money I made last month, or if um, a guy or a girl likes me. It's not connected anymore. And this is the freedom that I was seeking my whole life. But I was seeking for this freedom. God, I really hope you feel this message today. This was all, this was not my plan. I was planning to, it's my time for lunch now, 12 o'clock. So I was planning to go to make a short meditation and just a short few sentences about beliefs. And then here we are, it's gonna be like 1 hour video. I already feel that. I really hope the sound is good. I was searching for the freedom in the wrong corners. Freedom is not what you build outside, because what you build outside will come eventually. You don't need to ask yourself when or how, it will come. Just honestly, I wish someone has told me, forget about it. Or maybe they did, but I wasn't listening. And that's what I'm saying. You must be ready yourself. You need to choose yourself. People can tell you, you can watch all these videos all you want. But until, that's why I say divine timing. Yes, it is your choice. It is your choice to choose the right time. But you need to be, your soul needs to be ready. You need to be open to receive this guidance, to receive the message, to crack open. And I wasn't ready before I came here, and I had this moment of complete and utter, just blank canvas. I was like, I broke up, not in a sense I broke up, it doesn't matter, but like the relationship ended, and I'm alone, like I don't have anyone in the relationship. I was alone here, like completely alone. All my friends that I met before, that I made friends with, they all left to their countries, so completely alone. um, Money and financial struggles, not knowing how am I gonna pay for this, health struggles, they don't know how and what's happening to me. I am in this room, and my birthday is coming, New Year is coming, and I'm thinking to myself, like these things, these thoughts came to my mind, like all this work that I did is for nothing. And this is what I want to tell you, it's not for nothing. I'm gonna make a very good point by the end of this video. If you didn't so far, please like, subscribe. It does make a difference. It helps me to reach more people and help more people, and that is my mission. So thank you so much for subscribing. I post daily videos. I wouldn't say such as this one because it's the first one that I'm filming this video in this way. But anyways, and in this moment, when you finally reach the end, that is the problem, because we as people, we don't let ourselves reach the end, and the end is where you reach the breakthrough. This is when you have a breakthrough. When you have a breakdown, you have a breakthrough. So you need to let yourself have a breakdown, because it will lead you to the breakthrough. If you're operating constantly on this, as I was operating, I was happy. I'm not going to say I wasn't happy. I was happy. I would say for a few years back in my life, I am a happy person. Of course, more and more with every spiritual awakening, but I wouldn't say I was miserable. I wasn't. I wouldn't say I was suffering. But now that I know how it feels to be free, when I look back, I remember this feeling of just always mentally trying to change the belief and operating on this level of oh my god, or of this fear and the lack. Even though, as I say, the spiritual awakening is awakening to more freedom, more joy, more happiness, so it doesn't mean that you don't have a certain level of awakening and awareness now in this moment. You must surely do to be able to watch this video. But you're gonna have even more when you let yourself completely let go of these stories of who you're supposed to be and who and what you should already manifest, because you are working in a manifestation. Whoever you are, even though you are therapist, maybe coach, musician, whoever you are, you work with kids, I don't care. Let yourself completely release these stories, and confront your shadows, confront your fears, because when you confront your fears and your shadows, this is exactly when you're gonna have a breakthrough that is gonna help you break free. And then, as I said, all these external things, they will come. Like now I know for sure that they will come. Before I didn't know. Before I was like, will they come? Ooh, I need to say the right thing and do the right thing, or otherwise they will not come. I need to change my belief, otherwise I will not manifest. But now I don't even care anymore. I am telling you this from the bottom of my heart. I don't even care anymore, because I reached the point where I love myself and I know my worth without those things. And then it doesn't really matter if I now start working on the construction with those guys, as I tell them good morning every morning. I would be so happy to stay with them, to eat food, listen to music, dance, make love, make my hair. I enjoy putting my makeup. I do my nails. I will start learning how to do my nails by myself. Whatever. But this happened because I allowed myself to come to this point of the darkness. and to finally confront my ego and understand that I am not my money in the bank account. I am not how much clients I have. I am not if someone likes me or doesn't like me, or if someone believes or doesn't believe in me. That's not who I truly am, and that's not who you are. I am saying all of this because I know that the truth is operating in you right now. And if you're crying, please write your tears, cry. Feel all these stories just come down from your shoulder finally. Because when you release this is when you're finally going to be able to really live life as it's supposed to be lived, to play, to enjoy your body, to enjoy yourself, to dance, to sing. You lived many lives and you will live many lives. Who cares? Who cares? These are just the stories that you told in yourself, in your mind. And if you meet someone who tells you, yeah, well, you are not worthy because, let them be. They are trapped in their own mind as well. Imagine their own suffering if they tell you this. And that's why all this spirituality and manifestation can have and does have this dark side as well, because you can get trapped in this thinking that oh, you must manifest. No, manifestation is actually co-creation with God. It's guiding source energy. And you cannot do that if you're trapped in your mind, overthinking and worry and trying to change by force. It happens when you're in flow. It happens when you remember your true nature. It happens when you remember that you are worthy just by being yourself today, just by being alive. Being alive is a gift. You being yourself today is a gift. You living how you live is a gift. You being a kind person, a good person with a big heart, you living your purpose, just sharing with the world and just sharing your light and just being funny, like all these things. This is who you actually are, and this is, you don't even need to be funny to be worthy. I just gave that example, just for nothing. But you don't even need to be funny to be worthy. You are worthy just by being yourself. So in this moment, when I realized, I cannot say that right, Irena, you know why I love these breakdowns? I had many in my life, is because you have two options. You literally, my friend, have two options. One option, I'm gonna submit to my fears and go backwards. And another option, I'm gonna find a way, like Lagertha in Vikings. I am gonna find a way. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'm gonna find my inner strength to move forward. And this is when I felt this spiritual guidance. I awakened to who I truly am. And I was like, no, no, this is just old patterns and old stories that I'm leaving behind. I know who I am. I know my worth, and I'm moving forward. And this is what I'm telling you, when you finally release those stories of who you are supposed to be, this is when you are going to meet a spiritual understanding of your own. For me, I no longer resonate as much universe. I now believe in God. I always believed in God, but now I feel it more. And so you are going to have your own spiritual understanding and awakening, and you're going to realize, oh my God, this was just stories, and I was just operating from lack and fear because this is what I learned. And for people who have been through a lot, who have been suffering and who have been to tremendous traumas and pain, for us it's really difficult to believe in God. It's difficult to believe in the universe and even in yourself, because you think, who is going to save me, who is going to be there for me? Like, I have so many experiences in my life where nobody was there for me. So I'm not going to say that it's so easy. Just believe that God is going to be there for you, and the universe is going to be there for you, whatever you believe in, source, God, doesn't really matter. But But the point is that universe, God, source, spirit was always there for you. And however hard it may seem, we were not there for ourselves. We were abandoning ourselves in many occasions. And the reason that we are here today is because we did have spiritual guidance along the way. I mean, everybody does. Everybody has spiritual guidance. Everybody can receive spiritual guidance if they're open for it. And everybody has a support in the spiritual realm. But what I mean is that when I reached this point of darkness and fear, there was a tremendous fear. I really thought at one point, one girl told me, "You really look very pale. I think you have COVID." I was really, really crying and just so scared. But I don't want to say that I was completely in the dark, because I wasn't. Because it happened maybe one night where I was like this complete breakdown. And then I released these stories and I finally awakened and I was like, oh my God, this is such a BS. Like, what was I even thinking? But every day I was telling myself, every day I was telling myself who I am and reminding myself. And I was going for a run and I was training and I was watching YouTube videos and I was healing myself and crying and doing somatic yoga and somatic workout with my body to release these stuck emotions. Just a lot of purging, a lot of crying took place, but a lot of also I felt this sense of freedom already after that one night, to be honest, because I was free. I was like, I am free. Like, whatever happens in my life now, I am free. I can always go for a run. I can always hug my family. I can always meet people, make jokes. This world that we live in is a beautiful place. There is always sun, it will always rise. And I was just awakening to this truth of who we are actually. And it gave me this sense of profound freedom that I didn't feel before, because it was connected more to this self-image, that I am working on right now, and I'm always changing my self-image, and I believe that everybody should always work on improving themselves. But now I'm doing it from a different perspective. Now I'm doing it with kindness, with compassion, with self-love, and I am disciplined more than ever. I am highly disciplined. I am training in the gym more than ever, but it's all coming from love. It's all coming from this profound freedom that I can do things to love myself and to give myself and nourish myself. It's not coming from this lack and fear. And I don't want to diminish myself and my journey. Before, I was I was doing my best and I was trying and I was also happy in a different way, but there was this fear, there was this lack that I, in December, as I said, when I went through this dark night, and I let go of these stories and I finally met myself for who I am and saw myself for who I am. And why I want to tell you this is because you are worthy right now. And maybe I would even tell you that the first step in this spiritual awakening and manifestation journey is not actually this, I don't want to say external work, because it wasn't external. It was me writing in my journal, working on my beliefs, doing visualizing. So this is all internal. But the way I was approaching these practices was coming from lack and was coming from force. Not always, not always. So that's why I want to say I don't want to diminish everything. Not always, of course. I was also very, very spiritual, and I enjoyed my visualization and I enjoyed meditation. I was doing Kundalini, yoga, all these things I really enjoyed. But how I feel now when I do it, it's completely different. Because now I am more at peace with myself. And So if I would tell you where can you start, after watching this video, and I really hope my story helps you, this experience that I had, and I don't even need to say that, of course, after it, my life became much better, like in a sense. That's when I started YouTube and just sharing my messages, feeling so much better. I got some new work. I was doing more work, doing like everything. I actually got to the doctor and she told me, "You're not sick." So I was sick, but I wasn't sick for a month. That's why they didn't know what's wrong with me. So you see how we make ourselves sick, with our thoughts, and everything happens for a reason. I needed to have that month for myself. I was isolated, completely alone. And this needed to happen because that's when I had the spiritual awakening and realization that I am not those things, such as how many friends, how much money, do I have the house, do I have the kids already. All these things are not who I truly am. And this gives me to freedom now to let go of these ideas that I need to force myself. But everything I do comes from love and from gratefulness for the life that I have. And if I was to come back now and do everything, like all the manifestation exercises and techniques and everything that I did in my life, and what I would advise you is to go back to the beginning and really try to heal those wounds that made you feel like you need to have money in the bank account to show your worth, that you need to be a CEO at your company to be worthy. Like, where do those wounds come from? And then heal those wounds. And when you work on healing those wounds, this will help you to, first of all, feel more comfortable in your body, like your nervous system, which is really, really important when it comes to manifestation, which I also posted in one of my videos. And second, it will give you the confidence, because the more you heal, trust me, the more confidence you have. And it will give you this self-worth. So actually healing, I already posted in one of my videos. So if you haven't subscribed, really subscribe. It's an amazing video. I don't know the name, but I will post it here, about how healing is very important when it comes to manifesting, and how it's not talked about enough in the spiritual world. And I also didn't know, to be honest. I mean, I knew, but I wasn't that aware. And I do believe that sometimes it's not about books, and it's not about um, education, it's about experience. So now that I went through this experience, I can tell you that confidence and self-image does come from how much you have healed yourself and your traumas, and give yourself love and grace. And when you are in this energy of self-love, knowing who you are at your core, and I'm not saying who is Irena Strnja, which is my name and surname, but who I am as a soul, like really who I am. When you know that is when you feel more comfortable, because you don't get attached anymore to everything around you, and you are more free to play around, to experiment, to have joy, which then allows you to actually manifest what's meant for you. And why I say meant for you, because also one of the realizations I had is that we are naturally uh, creators and manifestors, and this is not something that you need to learn. But basically, you don't even need to force yourself to know exactly what you want in order to manifest. But when you remove the fears, and when you remove the shackles and these blockages and limiting beliefs and traumas that you have, that is when you are gonna be in this flow state that is gonna allow you to naturally then manifest what is for you. Because naturally we are in this playful happiness energy, creative energy, and naturally we can get intuitive guidance that helps us realize our purpose and live what's meant for us. Why I say meant, you will understand in one of my other videos. I don't want to get into it right now. So you don't need to again force the manifestation. Remove the blockages by healing and giving yourself grace and loving yourself. This is the most important relationship that you have, is with yourself and with the universe, with God, with source. There is no other relationship that is more important than this one. So I really hope that this video, I'm not going to do meditation anymore because I genuinely don't feel like doing that right now after this very strong message that I shared. So I'm going to do that in another video. But I really hope that it's helped you to finally realize. One more thing I want to mention though. Please understand that this journey of spiritual awakening and manifestation is not journey which is upheaval. And that's why I share this story of mine. And I'm going to have many of these stories in my life. Thanks to God. It doesn't mean that when you learn how to manifest consciously, because we are manifesting all the time, that doesn't mean that your life is going to be now all rainbows and sunflowers. It's not, because you need the contrast for the spiritual awakening. You need a contrast to understand yourself better, to awaken, to remove the illusion even more, and to realize what it is that you want. Every time you have a contrast, there is another thought. Yes, but now I know that this is what I want instead. This is what I want instead. So embrace the contrast. Contrast is much needed. Contrast is amazing. I am so happy that I had this contrast, because if I didn't, if I was trying to stay above the water, I would stay above the water and I would still stay in this condition. And because I let myself drown, I was able to rise then really above the water and swim beautifully. So embrace those moments, okay? Embrace those moments. Embrace the shadows and the fears. And yeah, I wanted to mention this because don't get in that trap. Everybody, even the high successful manifestation coaches, mentors, spiritual leaders, they have all lost of their children, sicknesses. And I'm sharing this because one girl I met, she was like, but how is that even true? If you manifested the lack of money or the lack of health, how are you even manifestation, teaching manifestation or whatever, or sharing wisdom about manifestation? But this is exactly what I'm saying. Contrast will always exist, and it's a part of life, and you cannot avoid it. But the point is, when you know how to consciously create, you understand that contrast is there for your own benefit. So when it happens in your life, even though it's so hurtful and painful, and that's something that you cannot avoid again, but you can at least make the suffering smaller or shorter, because you understand that this is a part of your journey. And then it really feels differently. Like, honestly, it does feel differently. Like the suffering, when you think that you're a victim and that you cannot change your life, then you really suffer and you don't know how to escape your prison. But when you know that, okay, this is so bad, what's happening, and it's really hurtful that this person left me, or yeah, things happen and it's really hurtful. But then you say, okay, but I understand that this is for me to learn something, and from this another person to learn something. And this is beneficial for our souls, even though maybe now we don't see how, but in the grand scheme of things, I also believe that souls sign contracts. So trigger warning, even for example, the abuse that I went through and all these things, I do believe that soul signed contracts before coming here. This is also something I think Abraham talks about. So whatever you believe in, take what resonates, leave what doesn't resonate, and just take the belief that feels right. That's how I'm going to tell you. If it doesn't feel right, don't believe what I say. Question everything what I say, and if something feels right, then it's right for you. Okay. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. It really, really helps me to reach more people and help more people and to continue doing what I'm doing. And like the video if you found anything that resonated and felt good for you. Also, comment down below how it resonated, what resonated the most. And if you want to connect with me deeper, my Instagram and other information is in the box down below. And I'm so grateful because me sharing this, I am gonna be also selfish. It helps me because I feel the happiest when I do this. So it helps me. I feel the happiest. Nothing makes me happier than when I share this message and when someone of you tells me, hey, you helped me, it helped me, I feel better, then I feel better. So, for selfish reasons, stay conscious and remember to have fun. I love you.